Hi everyone. I'm going to try to show you make a short video here and show you how to find some sources that already have some credibility built into them. So let's start with Saddleback's website, and you'll see that, and this is much richer. Obviously I'm at Saddleback's webpage. Sorry if I'm making you seasick, but I'm scrolling down to the very bottom. They moved their things around on the website. I don't know why. But if you scroll to the bottom, for current students, there's a library link. So scroll to the bottom and click on that library link. It used to be at the top of the page. I don't know why they would take it away. At any rate, when you get to this, you obviously can just type in your subject here and quickly, find a book or magazine articles. It's very robust now. But what I'd like to show you is some of the library databases, and it's astounding how many library databases there are now. And again, if you were like, say, an accountant and you were looking for a paper for an accountant, you could just click on this database and just look through it. However, of all the databases they have, I'd like you all to look at ProQuest. So I'm going to click here on and then here's ProQuest. Now, because I'm at home, this is going to require that I put in a login and an ID. I've already done that, so that's why it just jumps straight to ProQuest. But if you're at home, you'll have to do that. So if I type in this next topic, which is teamwork, let's see what we get. It's astounding how quick I get, and I didn't say what type of teamwork. I didn't say on, basketball team or, at a barista teamwork or something. And I could add that, depends on what you want to write about. But I want you to see this with ProQuest. It labels each source as by its type. And here we have their scholarly journals, books, audio, video, dissertation, thesis, more, newspapers, more. We can look through the different types of sources that they have. And obviously, and if you didn't know what a wire feed is like the Associated Press, or a specific newspaper. This is from New Orleans, some newspaper. At any rate, this little icon here is for the scholarly journals. So if you want, and you could just do that, you could just click on scholarly journals, and then you'll just get those. And the problem with it, of course, is that they're very challenging to read. But they have in them, you can see, measuring teamwork competencies. Let's say I wanted to look at this article. There's an abstract, and if you didn't know, an abstract is a summary of the article. But what you can see here is that these articles that are scholarly are often written by a number of people. Up here we have the authors, 1, 2, 3, 4 different authors, which suggests that there's a little bit of peer editing involved when it's done by a team. Now that's not always the case, because sometimes the people that listed at the end might just be a graduate student or actually just a worker who collects data. But generally you have at least 2 authors who are very well educated in whatever the topic is. You might see here that this article might be too challenging. So if I go back to my list, I could look through it, and I could also again add teamwork and some other attribute there to narrow my findings. Okay, so this is using ProQuest. Once again, you don't need to just do scholarly journals. You could look at whatever you want, but obviously if you have a newspaper, you might have a harder time justifying it for its credibility. Nevertheless, it kind of depends on what it is you're writing about. All right, so I'd also like to look at, now that's using our library databases. It's a great way to find credible sources. Google itself also has a I'm going to go ahead and write in here Google Scholar. It has its own credible search site called Google Scholar. And so what if I do a search on Google Scholar, I go ahead and look at teamwork, you'll see that there are other elements that Google has looked for to decide that it's credible. One of which we find is these, there are often, most of these are written by more than one author. There's that teamwork involved. Number of citations cited by, this paper here was cited by 1,216 different other writers. So if I went to this source, you can see that there's a PDF of it. It's got it actually has page numbers that you could cite. Sometimes you can download the actual paper, the whole paper. Sometimes you just get the abstract, so that can be more challenging. Look, this successful teamwork and case study. This has a PDF. Let's go ahead and open that up. If I wanted to download it, I could download it here, and again, I could quote from it. Sometimes they give you actually how to cite the particular piece. Let me go back. If I want to cite it, I can click here, and there's the MLA version, but that's actually not correct. We do not put MLA dates in parentheses, so that's too bad. Sorry about that. The ProQuest citation is a little bit better. So let's see this article. I'm back on the ProQuest database at Saddleback. If I wanted to cite that, it usually has MLA 8 edition. I don't know if they have the 9th edition, but 9th really doesn't have any changes from 8. So let's go ahead and stick with the 8. But this is how this would be cited. And all you do is copy it and paste it. Make sure when you paste it, you put the formatting to the correct, Times New Roman 12 and hanging indent. By the way, if you're not sure about what I mean by hanging indent, that means the first line is all the way on the left margin, so this team works, and then every other line is indented. And you do need to look at it if a lot of people have used these citation generators and they just copy and paste and then they don't look them over. But obviously Teamworks should not be in all caps. I would change that even if their article does that. Let's look at it again because it has it in all caps there, and which is what the citation did. But if I download the paper, I'm not gonna. I can save it as a PDF. I'm not going to bother with that, but you need to look through carefully. Okay, so these are more scholarly sources, easier to justify as credible sources, but you really ought to add the search filter features you're looking for, the topic, and that should help a lot. Okay, and good luck.